How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Staying Focused for Jesus. Hope each and every one of you are having a blessed day in the Lord Jesus Christ. As always, we're going to be a little bit up close and personal today. I ain't got my thing in the window. I was using it for something else. For those who don't know, my channel is not monetized. Staying Focused for Jesus YouTube channel is not monetized. I don't get ad revenue off any of my videos, even though YouTube makes a lot of money off of me. They make a lot of money off of me, running ads and all these different things. What I do, I don't do it because I want the money. If that was the case, I would be charging people for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that God has given to me to share with each individual person, if that was the case. Not doing it for that. I just see other people. No ad revenues, donations when people give it, and I work. Y'all know that I work. Y'all know the work that I put in. I'm talking about outside of ministry. So let me go ahead and make sure I say this. The word tells us God spoke to the prophets. And some of them, they were concerned with the things that they were saying that people weren't going to believe them. The Lord pretty much told them to speak those things in confidence. The Lord was telling them, you speaking it because I've given you the authority, just as if God is speaking it, just like with Moses. And he told them, the prophets, when these things come to pass, and they will come to pass, they will know that a prophet was among them, that particular individual was sent by God. And I believe that I fall into that category. I'm not saying that I'm the only one, but I believe that I fall into that category because I've spoken many, many prophetic things. Now, going back to my original point, when I'm putting these videos out and I'm telling you, make sure you watch this stuff. I know that it's long. I know the videos are long, but it's long for a reason. Because there's so much I have to be able to get out because tomorrow isn't promised. I have to be obedient to what the Lord has called me to do. And so the videos are sometimes longer. So when I'm telling you to watch the videos, listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to these prophetic things, and you're wondering, hey, where does he get this stuff from? I'm not doing it because I want your money. I'm not doing it as a exchange, like, okay, I'm going to give you this knowledge, I'm going to give you this wisdom, understanding, you're going to give me your money, as other ministries do. I don't do that. Freely you have received, freely you will give, or you shall give. And so I preach freely. And if somebody decides to bless me because they are edified or whatever by it, because they understand the time and everything it takes to do this stuff, and they don't have to really do the work, I mean, let's just be real here. If I'm doing most of the work and then I'm bringing it to you, I'm literally feeding you the food on the platter. And then it makes it easier for you for when you go do your research. Like, oh, yeah. So then when you start reading other materials, then the seed is already there. Christ said, if you want to be great in the kingdom, then you're going to have to be the greater servant. And y'all know I don't make no apologies about it. I want to be great in the kingdom of God. That's just me. Other people, you may not want to be great in the kingdom of God. I can only be who I am. And if it wasn't a possibility or wasn't an issue where you could receive more from God, why would God say that? Why would God say, to whom much is given, much is required? Why would he tell them that, okay, if you want to be greater, then you got to be the greatest servant, because Christ is the greatest and he is the greatest servant? So if we want to be like him, great, then we have to be teachers like him. We have to humble ourselves just as him and not get into some of the deeper stuff in regards to people being sent for different reasons and so on and so on. So I don't apologize for wanting to be greater in Christ. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't want to be greater in Christ. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I don't apologize for, what I call wanting to be in the Hall of Faith. I don't apologize for wanting to be one of the greatest preachers of my time, or be considered as one of the greatest preachers of my time. Not amongst men, amongst God and the gods. Because God is going to say, yeah, you was one of the greatest of your time. And then when I get up there with everybody else, they're going to know, like, yeah, you was one of the greatest. I don't see it now, but I'm striving to be there. I see that's where I'm going because of the things that I preach and I teach. That later is going to be considered, man, this brother right here did great things. Not because he was doing it for the money, but because of his love for, first and foremost, my Father and our people, whether they be Jews of the flesh or Gentiles grafted in. But even if you are a Gentile of the flesh and you are not grafted in, you can sit here and you can listen to all this stuff. I know that people listen to the ministry and they take the stuff and they run with it and they go make videos off of it. I know that. I know my words because I know my Father's words. I know when people are speaking it. I know where they got it from. I know all these things because the Spirit is giving you the revelation. So I say all that to let y'all know you don't want to watch the videos. You don't want to watch the videos, but you want the knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding. Then some of you try to tell me that I'm lying. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the stuff I keep on telling y'all, it keep on coming to pass. So how come everything that I'm saying keeps on coming to pass? Either I'm in connection with the devil, and the devil's giving me this stuff, or I'm in connection with God. Or I'm just a very smart man. If I'm that smart, you still need to be listening to me. Either way, it's still a win-win-win-win-win. You may say, oh, how's it a win if you connect to the devil? Because you're sitting and listening to the videos and you're like, okay, it's true. Now, how you taking what you do with it, that's on you. I'm just being fair. Because someone might say, well, you're getting this wisdom and stuff from the devil. Is that what you want to say? You can say that. You have that right. I've been preaching this stuff for years, and those who have been around the ministry, some of you don't know. So that's why I got to kind of like catch people up, because you got new people coming in every day. I've been preaching this stuff for years. And we know we're talking about the Metaverse. I did a video probably a few months ago where I was explaining. Some of you remember, I said when you're talking about the digital world, you're talking about the spiritual world. It's spirits. And it's manifested. Why do you think when I be talking about faith and I say faith ain't really what you've been taught? And I be saying there's certain things that I want to tell you and show you, but I can't tell you and show you yet because I don't know how to explain it yet. When I preach, I may know something inwardly, but I have to be able to formulate it where I can speak it physically where any and everybody that's listening to the video can understand it, no matter what your education level is. So when I say nigga or I say this and that, I'm speaking to that specific group of people that understand what I'm saying. I become all things to all men, hoping to save some. And then I explain this to a lot of y'all, and you still don't get it. Like, good Lord, like I'm up here cussing or something like that. Cursing comes from the heart. Curse, you're putting a curse on somebody. I'm not putting a curse on somebody. If I'm calling somebody a nigga, it's because they a nigga. The basis of the Negroes. If I'm calling somebody a hoe, then that's what they are. They a hoe. A hoe is a whore. Same thing. It's the intent of the heart. Obviously, I'm not going to go around saying F you and this and that, this and that. Because if I say F you, then it's coming from the heart. You best believe it. If I do say it, I'm still not saying it in a derogatory way. I'm not going to say it because I know, because of the word, what F means. I'm not finna go, I don't want to go F somebody else, but we know what I mean. I'm not going to say that. Will I say the B word? I will, but I'm not. I will, but I'm not, because most people don't understand. If I say you B, this B right here, the first thing somebody's going to say, oh, you supposed to be a pastor. What is a B? Everybody knows what it is, but it's how you use it. A bee is a female dog. A bee is a female dog. So she's acting like a bee, or he's acting like a bee, acting out of character, because a woman is not supposed to act like a bee. What is a bee? A female dog. What is a dog? In accordance to men, a prostitute. So a bee is a female version of a prostitute. Now, like I said, am I going to say the word? No, but even though if I say B, you still know what I'm talking about. So what's the difference if I say B in the way I'm explaining it, and then I say this B? Or if I say the actual word. If I say she's a B, and I don't say the word, but then if I say she's a B and I say the word, there is no difference. It's just that, oh, now I'm saying it in this way, so it's more politically correct. For me, it's not political correctness. It's just a way to explain something without people getting offended. But if I say, man, she's a B, you know, in your mind, you already said the word. But if I actually say the word, she's a B, oh my God, he said the B word, but I just said it. But I didn't say it. You see what I'm saying? So people, that's the hypocrisy of people. That's the hypocrisy of people. I'm not going to say it because people get offended. Oh my God, he said the B word. But if I say the B word and I don't say the B word, I still said it. When I say the B word, I'm not saying it in the way that other people are saying. Or when females, call their friends, you B. Even though I just said you B right there, most of you still said the word in your mind. You didn't say you be with me. You said the actual word. So who's guilty, you or me? Because you said it. You see what I'm saying? This is why I say how deep you want to go with it. When I'm saying, if I did say, if I just say be without saying the actual word, I'm not speaking it from the perspective that they're speaking it from. I'm speaking it based off the knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding that I have in righteousness. A female prostitute. That's what a bee is. Because a woman is not going to call another woman that's truly a woman. A queen isn't going to call a queen a bee, unless it's like Queen Bee. Like you queen, you say the word. Because she's the queen of the female prostitutes. But, where we at? I've been telling y'all these things and preaching these things. I told you that when you talk about the digital world, is speaking about the spiritual world. Right now, you are in the spiritual world. This is a manifestation of the Spirit. I'm making a video. Before I made the video, what happened? It was formulated, or however you want to say it, within me. And then I came forth and I manifested it physically. I'm not getting on y'all. This is just the way I talk. For those who don't know, this is just the way I talk. I'm very stern and direct. This is the way I talk. Don't get offended. Don't get offended unless you need to be offended. Unless you know you're out of pocket. If the shoe fits, wear it. Only people that are offended are the people that know they haven't been doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, and then I do get upset because, it's just a respect thing, man. I've been preaching this stuff for years. It's disrespectful. Y'all know I've been preaching. I've been preaching mark of the beast and telling what the mark of the beast and telling you all these things are going to happen. And it's just disrespectful to the office of the prophets. It's disrespectful to God, the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ. It's disrespectful to believers. Because we all have respect for one another no matter what position we are in. I don't care how big or how small you are. Because you can get big up here in Christ. But Christ will bring you down if you ain't got the respect for the ones who we consider smaller, who haven't grown up, who haven't rise up in the ranks of the military of God, because you're in the military. I hate to tell you, which I don't hate to tell you, but you know how the saying goes. I love to tell you. You're in the military, and there are ranks. There are ranks. I just made a post on Facebook about castles. A castle is a fortress. It's a fortress. And fortresses are military strongholds, strong points. So when I'm telling you these different things, I'm not telling you it because I want to hurt you or anything. I'm telling you things because I care. And so that you can know that Christ is real. Because how come this brother keep on saying these things and they keep on coming to pass? Tell me. Tell me. And if I'm getting it from the devil, then prove it. If I'm getting it from the devil, then prove it. And if I'm getting it from within myself, then hey, you need to be listening to me, because then, we need to be making some money then. To hell with everything else, to hell with Christ, to hell with the devil. We need to be getting this money ourselves. Since I'm so smart, you get my point. So we have the Metaverse. When you look up meta, it pretty much tells you you're dealing with the opposite of what is physical. Things not dealing with the physical. So when you're dealing with things that are not dealing with the physical, what are you dealing with? Come on now. Easy test. You're dealing with the spiritual. So you're dealing with the spiritual verse. Metaverse is just another way of speaking it. The metaphysical. You're dealing with the spirit. You're dealing with the physical aspects of what is spiritual. Because what is spiritual, it has physical aspects to it. That's why I've been telling y'all that with these sermons, how when God told Moses to build a tabernacle, he told him to build it and the different things that was in the tabernacle, to build it after a shadow of the heavenly. Well, if it's a shadow of the heavenly, then that means what's in the heavenly tabernacle is something that can be seen. We see that in the book of Revelation. How they having visions in heaven, then they can see these things. If there was nothing there, then how are they able to see them? You just can't see it if you don't know where to look and you don't have the right eye. You can't see it with your physical eye because your physical eye, your physical body is limited. Is limited because of sin. When they talk about unlocking the power within mankind, other stuff, it's true. But that is still limited. So that's why they have to tap into this physical realm to access it so they can see what they normally wouldn't see. If none of this ever happens, then we will be able to see everything with our physical eyes. But because of sin, the power is limited. And the power is limited because the reason the power is limited within us is so that we don't destroy ourselves. You ever watch the movies, the space movies or whatever? And they always talk about the nuclear reactor is going to overheat if we don't turn it down or whatever, blase. So what they have to do, they had to turn it down because it's overheating, it's doing too much. So it can cool down. They go and they fix it, whatever they do. It's the same thing with us. You put too much power on the circuits, it's going to overheat, it's going to fry everything. If we are given too much power at one time, we end up not destroying ourselves only, but others. Oh, you say you don't believe me. What happened when you learned about sex and you was going around here having sex and you had no business having all this sex? I'll wait. What happened when you learned about money? You was making all this money, but you didn't have the power to be able to control that money in the right way. I'll wait. You went on here, you did stupid stuff. And then you look back in your life and you said, I wasted a lot of money. And if you would have saved that money because you had the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what to do with that money, then you would have did the right thing. Then you would have been in a better position, being able to help people even more. But your circuit was overloaded because you were putting too much power. You were putting too much power in something that was not able to handle it. So God powered us down when we sinned. That's why he told them that they couldn't, he kept the cherubim there so they couldn't get interfere with the fiery sword. Because if they got to it, they were going to end up destroying themselves even more. So people think that God is holding people back. No, God was protecting us. He's still protecting us. These folks went out here and made a nuclear bomb, and the dude that said the dude that made the nuclear bomb, he pretty much said that he wished he never did it. He said, I've seen death, because he really realized what he did. Like, oh my God, if this gets into the hands of the wrong people, it's over. And what do you have? You got missiles and all these different things in the hands of the wrong people. They took an atom that we can't even see, that's smaller than what I'm showing you, and they split it to make this gigantic bomb that had this explosion. And these folks out here tapping into other stuff that they have no business. Dark matter, dark energy, all these different things. They're harnessing the power of water, harnessing the power of the spirit. Because remember, space is water. So when they're going into the abyss, they're going into the dark. It's the same thing when they go into the deep. When they go into the ocean, it's dark down there. And what are they going down there to get? Minerals, resources. And when you go down there, you run into creatures you ain't never seen. I told y'all we do this. We do this. They want to get the oil and everything, because of the oil, now they have power. Now they can control different things. They're digging into the deep, the dark, to get these resources. They're doing the same thing in space. They're going through the water, and they're harnessing what's in the water. The dark matter, the dark energy. And this is what Zuckerberg doing. I don't care what nobody say. That Negro, he ain't a Negro, but that nigga, that way he a nigga. Because, you would say, oh, he white, though. There's no such thing as white people. There's no such thing as technically there's no such thing as a white race. Just like there's no such thing as black people. My skin is not as black as my beard. But we know. White people come from black people. So, yes, I can call them niggas. Because they acting like niggas. Y'all know how niggas act. If a nigga offends you, then I apologize. Maybe I'll stop saying it for a second. But I got to speak to the ones of the flesh. Because when you speak to spiritual things, they don't understand it. That's what Paul said. So he said, I got to speak to you carnally so you can understand it. Because it gets their attention. Well, what did you say? Oh, yeah, I get that. I got this. Let me do this. I know some of you don't understand, but hey, trust me. I ain't steered you wrong yet, have I? So this guy, Mark Zuckerberg, who looks like an alien, I don't care, nobody say he look like a straight up alien. He don't look normal. We know he been taken up by unclean spirits, but I believe 100% that he was a terror from the beginning. Because he looked weird. I ain't saying that there aren't people that don't look weird. People probably say that Jesus looked weird. But we know Mark Zuckerberg, yeah, it's something up with him. A person can be weird and, then be righteous or look weird and everything. Like, okay, they cool, yeah, they just look funny. Christ was short. He was a funny looking dude. That's what the Bible says. And speaking in layman terms, he got this metaverse and everything, right? Meta is dealing with the spiritual. Metaverse, universe, multiverse. You see what's going on? Well, they're creating these, or going to be creating these different worlds within worlds. Have y'all did your homework? Because if you listen to these videos that seem to be boring, that I put out, this is exactly what I told you they were going to be doing. Microcosm, macrocosm, all these different things. But y'all don't want to do your homework, and then you get mad when you don't know stuff. How you gonna get mad at me when I told you? Be mad at yourself. But you gotta blame somebody else. Blame yourself though, right? Yeah, that's how it goes. Metaverse, universe, multiverse. Uni meaning one verse. When we talk about the universe, everything was one. Everything was working together as one. It was one song, because a verse is a verse is a verse, a verse like in the song or whatnot. And so all of it came together to create one beautiful song. That's why you see in the book of Job and other places, he speaks about specifically the book of Job, where the angels, they were praising and singing the Lord together as one Lord, one faith, one baptism. You see what I'm saying? So you're talking about the metaverse is just a play on words. The metaverse. Everybody's individual galaxy or everybody's individual universe or individual song. Because everybody has a song. Because we're all trees. And trees have songs. Their rings, they tell their life story. And they have a melody that goes to it. If you burn a tree, the tree grows up. It's going to tell us about its growth and everything. And then if you burn it, then that's going to be etched into that tree's rings. And if you play it back, it'll start off beautiful depending on what that tree went through. But then later when it hits that age where it caught on fire and everything, the song would change. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Go look it up. It's some deep stuff. Some deep stuff. So we're dealing with this. He's building a spiritual world, and he's already done it because Facebook is spiritual. You're already in the metaverse. You've been in the metaverse. You just don't realize it. You've already been in the spiritual world. You have worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds. If you come to my house, come to my neighborhood, you in my world. If I come to your house, your neighborhood, whatever, I'm in your world. The worlds collide and they pass each other every day, just like the stars, the planets, and everything. Everything works on patterns until God decides he wants to change the patterns. You see what I'm saying? That's why we say when the worlds collide, when people collide, the worlds collide, universes collide. Suns pass each other. Moons pass each other. All these different things on a daily basis. Somebody just walked by me now. I'm in my own little world. He in his own little world. He's on his phone. I know the dude. He stayed down the street. He in his own little world, doing his thing, dealing with whatever he deal with, and I'm in my own little world, within the big world, dealing and doing the things that I do, right? But we don't talk. If I see him in passing, he may speak, he may not. A Dodge Challenger just rolled by. Sounded good. Had the pipes on. Vroom, vroom, vroom. He in his own world right now. He ain't worried about me. He ain't studying me. He don't even know I'm in here probably. You see what I'm saying? So you've already been a part of the metaverse. Even before Facebook, before MySpace, all these different things, you was already a part of it. Everything that is spiritual is eventually manifested in the physical. Everything that is physical starts in the spirit and then is manifested in some type of way, form, fashion, however you want to put it. Y'all know I've been preaching that for years. Y'all probably can quote it better than I can quote myself. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I've been telling you these things because I've known these things were going to be coming to pass. Now, some of you recall, if you did your homework, if you was in class, I've been talking about time travel. I got videos on time travel. I've been speaking about how we are literally time travelers. Some of you thought it was crazy. You can go on my Facebook page. You see me talking about it. You can go back into the videos. You can see me talking about time travel and all these different things. Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is real. It's not affecting us. It's affecting those who are affected by it because they're in a different world. So things in their world is changing because their worlds, their universe, their galaxy that they're in is becoming unstable. It's becoming unstable because the foundation was rocky from the beginning. So everything is changing and God is allowing it. For us, things ain't changing like that. Things can move our way. The atoms can break down. We can see them and they can just vanish. But the foundation is still there. They showed you that in the Matrix. And not just in the Matrix, but all these movies. You go into the white room. There's nothing there except the so-called creator. But he still has a foundation under him. And the foundation under him is more so for the people that are coming in that realm, so they don't lose it. Because if the creator takes it away, then they're like, oh my God. Most of them like, whoa, what is this? Because most people only right now, people are supposed to be operating. Most people are supposed to be operating in 3D, three-dimensional level. But most people, because they have digressed because of sin, they're operating in 2D and 1D. 1D is a piece of paper. Just to keep it simple, that 1D is a piece of paper. And even a piece of paper is 3D, depending on how you look at it. Because you go down that piece of paper on a molecular level, that paper isn't, you're going to be like, whoa, whoa. So that's, you have to speak to people on the level that they are on, where they can understand, so they can hopefully elevate to back to at least a three-dimensional understanding. Then you get into the 4D, 5D, 6D, and so on and so on and so on and so on. I know this may sound geeky or nerdy or whatever, however you want to put it. I don't care how you put it. I am geeky. I am nerdy. Not just because of the glasses. But I've understood technology for so long that if I wanted to be a multi-billionaire, I could, because I saw all this stuff way back then. I saw all this stuff happening. When I was making and selling the counterfeit money, I knew where everything was going. But I wasn't focused on that. And thank God that I really wasn't focused on it, because I would have destroyed myself. I would have had too much power. And that's exactly what happened. At that particular point in time in my life, I had too much power for my own good. And I ended up destroying myself and destroying others, which landed me in jail, which is a good thing. So this is what's going on with the whole metaverse thing. And if you go research it, they speak about one of the things you'll be able to do in the metaverse and these different worlds of people is that you'll be able to teleport. Now, if Mark Zuckerberg says it, oh yeah. But if a brother like me says it, I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Bible is full of it. I've been talking about teleportation, time travel. I'm time traveling right now. Because when you watch this video, I'm going to be doing something else. But this video is still 100% me. It's a piece of me. At that particular point in time. So then you're going to go back. It's going to be your future, but it's going to be my past. How deep you want to go? When you watch this video, it's going to be your future, but it's going to be my past. Some of the videos you watch, I've uploaded, and you see I put it in there. I said this video was done 5 months ago, 8 months ago. You're time traveling. I'm doing something else. I'm time traveling on my own timeline. So this is what we have going on. So when we talk about Mandela effect and everything, that stuff is real. It's not affecting us like that. But it is. Because everything is breaking down. Our bodies are breaking down right now as we speak. But it's for our good. It's not for their good. It's good for us that things are falling apart. Because what they see as the end, we see as the beginning. Just like a butterfly. Or I should say caterpillar. Cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere. What I see happening is when people start to create their own digital worlds, digital universes, they will have their own form of money in these worlds. For example, if I have my own digital world where you can come in there, literally teleport and everything, there would be a currency in that world that's like the king coin or whatever. You got the different names of the coins and everything. That's based off of the economy of that world. And depending on how it grows, would depend on how valuable that coin is, that digital currency. But the digital currency is attached to the person. So how valuable that person is will dictate what they can and can't do in their world. So the more they invest in their world, then the more their cryptocurrency will grow. The more that they have value in the real world and these different things, having money, they'll be able to take that money or resources and put it into their digital world, and people can visit it and stuff like that. They are taking what they already know how things used to be, and they're trying to recreate it in this world. People don't understand that the planets, what we call planets, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, so on and so on. And we know there are thousands and thousands, millions and millions of planets in this galaxy alone. And we know that not all of them are habitable, right? There's a reason for that. These are pieces of different things. I'm going to make sure I try to explain it as best I can, that make up a bigger picture. The best example I can give you is I'm looking right in front of me and there's grass, a whole bunch of grass, and I see a rock. Does that mean that it's habitable? Yeah, you could live there if you want to. But is the house right there or is the house over here? The house is over here. So this is habitable, but it's grass. It's supposed to be nice and neat and cut and everything, and it serves its purpose for the air and all these other things. So you have certain planets that are not necessarily made to be habitable. Can you eat grass? If you want to, but it ain't the best. It's not the best thing to eat when there are other things to eat. Can you live on some of these planets? Yeah, but why would you want to live on these planets when there are other planets that are actually way better than that? So back in the day, even before this Earth age, the different planets used to be inhabited. And they were inhabited because you had the gods that were rulers over these different planets, which is why even today, these planets are named after different gods. It's not a coincidence. And the Bible speaks about it. That's why when they go study these planets, and some of you believe that we can't travel through the dome or whatever, I ain't got time for all that. You can believe whatever you want to. When they go and they send these probes and everything, they find signs of that there used to be life or water there. More so when they say signs of life, they're talking about water. Because if there's water there, then it's most likely there was life there. But guess what? Not all water is drinkable, right? The reason that they are finding signs of water and rivers that used to be on the different planets is because these planets used to be inhabited. And they know this. God destroyed all of them when he did the flood. The universal flood, which flooded what we know as the universe. That's why it's dark. It acts as a barrier, a protection. And I can get deeper into that, but we're going to stay on course. And because I've discussed some of this stuff already. I do want to say this. They say oil and water doesn't mix, right? But oil and water does mix if you know what you're doing. But on the surface level, it looks like oil and water doesn't mix. And if you take the oil and you pour it in the water, what does it do? It's suspended in the water, right? It's in its own little world. So it's the same thing with us. It's the same thing with the worlds. The worlds are like the oil, little balls of oil suspended in the water. Shake it around, move it and everything, but it's going to eventually go back to its place, its resting place. And like I was saying, back then, these planets were inhabited by these different gods. They were rulers over these planets. Earth as a whole, what we call the world. I'm going to just say Earth because Earth is a dry land. I'm talking about the world as a whole. What we call the world that includes the earth and the seas. The world it symbolizes Eden. The world as a whole is Eden. The world as a whole is the Garden of Eden. Then you have the central location, microcosm. Eden, the Garden of Eden, specifically in what we know as Africa and everything, right? You have everything else. The Garden of Eden started there was a garden, but gardens grow. Gardens turn into orchards and vineyards and everything. So the whole world was supposed to be like that. The whole world was full of these different trees and gardens and these, wonderful places. But you had the central location known as God's garden. This was God's garden. This was his Eden. But you had other gardens that they could go to, they could eat from, which is what God told them. So, again, the world as a whole is Eden, right? With the other worlds they used to rule over, that was in essence, it was like, okay, this is my Eden, this is my garden. This is my place, this is my bowl, this is one of my mansions. In my Father's house are many mansions. You see? So God wiped them all out and killed pretty much everything on there when he caused the universal flood, when they were ruling over these different planets and everything. That was named after them. He didn't only destroy this world, but he also destroyed the rest of them. That's why you see them the way that they are. Because of what? Disobedience. Because of disobedience. So they're trying to recreate, because they're spiritual beings. You see what I'm saying? So they have to bring these different things forth spiritually first to get the people to manifest it physically for them. Now, a lot of these people, they inhabit their bodies. But they inhabit these bodies so they can kind of get them to do their will, which is what? To bring forth this ancient knowledge. To create these bodies that these beings, these ancient beings, they can dwell in. They want to dwell in their own body. And they want to dwell in their own body, and they want to rule over mankind like they did before. But they don't want to rule over them they don't want to rule over them in righteousness. So they're influencing mankind to do these different things, and they're feeding them this spiritual knowledge in their spirit, and then the people, I got this great idea. I got this, this discovery or whatever. When they're being guided by these different spirits. And not for good reasons. So now because people are tapping into these spiritual realms, these spiritual worlds. They're tapping into these different gods and everything that have knowledge. The gateway and the portal, because we're all portals. Your eyes are portals. And if you don't have the power, you won't be able to control what comes in, to filter what comes in the right way. That's why you got to be careful what you watch. If you look at your eye is literally called the eye a black hole, just like what's in space. Your eye is just like what's in space. Go look it up. Now I've shown this before. It's literally a black hole. And the black hole, it sucks everything in. It sucks everything in. If depending on the gravitational pull of it, it's gonna suck everything in. So what happens is, this is why people get upset with people like me, because their worlds collide with my world. They come into my gravitational pull, and they get sucked into my world. And if we don't have no use for you, you're gonna get destroyed. It's like we didn't ate, and now we got this garbage disposal. And what you do? You take the trash out. You put the food in the garbage disposal. We ain't got no use for it. It's gonna go where it's supposed to go. So they're upset because they're getting pulled in, and they think, hey, we need to survive. We need to survive. So they either get sucked in, they get destroyed, or they abandon ship and they try to go somewhere else. And then they get picked up by somebody else, and they get picked up by somebody else in their world. And then they look at them as the saviors. Like, oh, you saved us. Yeah, this guy, we went to this place and it sucked us in. You know what I'm saying? They attacked us. What do you think we're going to do? That's why we have those defenses. Those defenses are there because, hey, don't go over here. You're not supposed to be over here. But then they see us as a threat when we are only defending ourselves. Right? So they abandon ship and some of them get destroyed. And then these saviors come and they rescue them. They look at them as saviors and say, yeah, those are the bad guys. Those are the bad guys. That's what they do. They're going around destroying everything. Not telling them the whole story. So now what happens? They end up recruiting them. Hey, you got some more people? Yeah, I got my people over here. They had to go over here to this world. But it's somebody else, an individual that they're sitting under. You see what I'm saying? And now all those people, they get recruited. So the one person, they come back and say, hey, I found a safe place for us. And then they told me these different things, and blah, 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 this ancient wisdom, this ancient knowledge. And people get sucked into that. That's why I warn you about that. And now they teamed up with them, and they recruited them to these beings that we're fighting against, to their army. And they look at us like we're the bad guys. When we're trying to help them, and they just, hey, you crossed the gun line. It is what it is. So this is what Zuckerberg is trying to, looks like he's going to. Either it's him or somebody else is going to happen. This is what they're trying to recreate. So some of you may ask me, should we be getting involved in cryptocurrency? I believe it's okay for us to get involved in anything to the point there where we can't get involved in stuff. If you can't do something in faith and in good conscience, then don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. You use digital currency every day. You get a check that some of you don't even see that gets deposited into your bank account, that you go on your phone and you look at it digitally, and it tells you that you have a certain amount of money, and then you go spend it by swiping your card or using your phone. You may say, well, the card is not that. Well, it's coming from somewhere where you've never seen the money. The card represents the money that you've never seen, right? So you're already using digital money. In essence, technically, you're already using cryptocurrency. Now, the dollar and everything isn't cryptocurrency the way that we know it today, but it's still a form of what we would call digital cryptocurrency, digital currency. The banking system, the way that we use it today, it's a mix of the two. It's a mix of physical and digital, which is spiritual. So the money you use today and you spend, it's digital money. Because most of us, when we get our money, I mean, think about it. I just sold some books. I think I sold like 3 books. That money, I'm never going to really see that money unless I go take it out the bank. Most likely, I'm going to spend it on something, pay a bill, or buy some groceries. Now, the groceries is physical, but the money is not physical. It's gonna go to somebody else's bank account. Now, you can buy physical things with it, which is which is the physical manifestation of something spiritual. You see what I'm saying? So we've already been, dealing with digital money. Cryptocurrency ain't going nowhere. Now, if you can do it in righteousness because you have the power to do it, then I would say educate yourself on cryptocurrency, get your money, get in and get out, or if you want to invest long term or whatever, blah, 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 you can do that and, do the right thing with it, help the people and stuff like that. Absolutely. Absolutely, because it's not going anywhere. It's when these different things that come about, when they're not used the right way. Because if that's the case, then we shouldn't be using YouTube, we shouldn't be using Facebook or any different thing, because people say, oh, Facebook is a devil. No, it's how you use it. Mark Zuckerberg is a devil. So are we not supposed to use Facebook because Mark Zuckerberg is a devil? So should we not use cryptocurrency because somebody that's a devil or whatever created it, allegedly created it or whatever, when all of it's coming forth from God in the first place? They're just manipulating it. Am I going to create my own digital world or whatever? I don't know. I might. I might if I'm led to do it, and I got a world that everything is about Jesus, and people are coming there to see what's going on, and I can use it to lead people to the gospel. Absolutely. The word says that all things are lawful for me, but not all things are expedient for me. Meaning that, hey, is it going to expedite what I'm trying to do? But he said that he would not be brought under the subjection of none of these things. So I'm not going to be in this world and say, I'm the God of this world. I'm not going to do that. If I use it, it's going to be used in righteousness. It's not going to be used something crazy. Because if you live in these worlds, and what happens if you owe a debt and then you can't get out of this world? You can't get out of somebody's world because you owe them money. Now you got to do things in the digital world, and it's going to be really you doing it because you're teleporting over there, right? Now, you know what I'm saying, you a sex slave. You weren't even a sex slave in real life, but you a sex slave over here. Now, when you go back to the real world, then you still being tormented by these devils and everything. Come on now. People don't know what's going on. It's going to destroy them. And that's why I'm making this video. That's why I speak about these different things. So you can know before it happens and you know how to handle it. We have to educate ourselves and stop being afraid. We have to educate ourselves and stop being afraid. But that's how I see the whole digital currency thing going on. I'm not saying that there isn't going to be like main digital currencies, cryptocurrencies that are going to govern the other ones and everything like that. But people are going to be able to have their own individual cryptocurrency that's based off the value of them. Because money comes forth from the people. And if you don't understand that, then you won't understand what I'm saying. Money comes forth from the people. Why do you think they leverage the birth certificates and everything? It's a bond against the people. Why do you think they keep on printing the money? It's not about the money, y'all. When the Bible is speaking about the love of money, it's not talking about a piece of paper. Because if that's the case, then why would it say you can't serve God and the God of mammon when the God of mammon is money? So that means that money is living. Well, how is money living? Because you get money through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. A person had to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Key to it was what? A person or a being has a habit to be able to bring forth that type of wealth. So when God is talking about the love of money is the root of all evil, he ain't talking about a piece of paper. That paper symbolizes something. It symbolizes the people because they leverage the people to be able to print more money. Some of you know that, but some of you don't. If you don't know how they're able to keep on printing money, because the money is backed by the people. That's why it's not backed by gold and silver. It's not backed by gold and silver because we don't have kings and queens like we used to. Because people have sold their birthright, so therefore you don't get to have the gold and the silver. That's why the people that are sitting in our positions, the literal kings and queens, they have gold and silver because they are royalty right now. They are the royalty that's ruling the world. And they leverage the people to be able to print the money, because the money symbolizes the people. They take the birth certificate, it's a bond, right? Some of you know this. And that says, hey, this person is pretty much going to make this amount of money for us over their lifetime. And I want to cash into my bond in so and so time. You have that bond, and that bond grows. So the more you make in this physical world, the more that bond ends up being worth. The more you make in this physical world, through work and everything and the different things you do, that bond they have on you ends up being worth more money. So then when your children come forth and then they're in the system, they have a bond against them, a physical bond, meaning they own your flesh. Then, okay, we're going to use this as collateral. That's why they want more children, because they use the children as collateral. They use the people as collateral to be able to print more money. That's why the money is backed by the people, because the people stop trusting in the money. It's faith. But y'all mock us because of our faith. It's faith because it's backed by the people, that the people will continue to support it. They will continue to work. They'll continue to keep the system going, because most of the people believe that if the system falls, then they're dead. We don't believe that. The system falls, we're good. We're good. We was good before, and we'll be good afterwards. And that's why they hate us so much. So, excuse me, I can be here talking about this stuff for another hour, 2 hours all day, breaking it down. But I'm going to go ahead and close it out, because I think I gave you enough to think about. So with that being said, God bless each and every one of you in Jesus Christ's name. As always, stay focused for Jesus. And as you know, the truth is not debated, it is declared.